For decades, Maharashtra has been at the front line of leading industrial growth, with Mumbai being the financial capital of India. However, owing to the politicians who put themselves and their interest before that of the people, the state has lost out to economic opportunities that could have accelerated its growth even further. For example, in January 2020, the then Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray, held quite a few meetings with leading industrialists and gave them assurance that the industries will not have to leave the state. Speaking to India Inc., Thackeray had said how red tapeism would be removed to help ease of doing business in Maharashtra. Except just few months later, in November 2020, Thackeray was found blaming the central government for the slow pace of industrial projects in Maharashtra. This blame game trick is as old as time for opposition leaders. And lastly, when nothing works, blame the Gujaratis, because the two top politicians today are Gujaratis. The opposition leaders who hate them so much have painted a target on Gujarat and Gujaratis. It comes as no surprise, hence, that following the Congress divide and rule policy, the opposition leaders are now crying that Maharashtra is losing to Gujarat in terms of industries. First of all, let us make it clear that industrial growth is not an overnight thing and is a gradual process. It takes years for industries to test waters in terms of political stability, labor availability and ease of doing business before the growth picks up. Till now, only Vasantrao Nayak and Devendra Fadnavis have been two Chief Minister of Maharashtra to complete their full 5-year terms. For a fairly industrialized state, this itself shows the lack of political stability. Now let us talk about how over the years the centre has also tried to incentivize industries in Maharashtra. The state has received significant benefits in form of interest-free loans and tax devaluation from the centre. This itself demolishes the preferential treatment farce propagated by the opposition leaders, which is often propped to hide their own shortcomings. Further, it must be made clear that the industries that moved out of Maharashtra did not just go to Gujarat, but also went to other states such as Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Himachal Pradesh and Karnataka, which are also opposition ruled. So why this hostility only towards Gujarat? Now that we have this out of our way, let us discuss a few instances of Maha Aghadi government's anti-industry actions, including sheer lawlessness, which also contributed to drive away the industries. The Jaitapur nuclear power plant. Back in 2011, Uddhav Thackeray had opposed the construction of the 9,900 megawatt Jaitapur nuclear power project under the pretext that the coastal region's ecology would be damaged. The protest had turned violent, where one person was also killed. In 2015, he toughed its stand against it and attacked the BJP and said that if they want the plant so bad, they should take it to Gujarat. He had termed the project useless and said that if the state needs so much power, it could easily purchase it from other states, even if it meant paying a higher price. This is the thought process of someone who would eventually become the state's chief minister, shelving the plan of Asia's largest oil refinery in Konkan. Thackeray has been opposing the proposal of coming up with the world's largest oil refinery in Konkan. He led the gullible local villagers into opposing the same. In fact, in May 2023, Thackeray had again suggested the said oil refinery be taken to Gujarat and to bring good projects to Maharashtra. And then Thackeray has the audacity to whine that the projects are going to Gujarat. Now let us talk about the Mumbai Metro and RA flip-flop. The Uddhav Thackeray-led MVA government delayed the Mumbai Metro project by cancelling the car shed in RA despite Supreme Court orders. The government did not heed its own panel's report, which warned that the delay could lead to massive cost escalation. The government declared the area forest land in a vindictive move and shifted the facility to Kanjurmarg, all due to political reasons. Ironically, the MVA's pro-environment stance crumbled when it formed a committee to explore commercial development of the same forest land. Every metro city needs better connectivity and comfort of travel, and Maharashtra was at the losing end due to anti-people policies and stances of the MVA government. In fact, Uddhav Thackeray used Marathi sentiments to issue an open threat that such projects will be uprooted, clearly compromising the welfare of the same people whose interest he claims to serve. Speaking of trains, let us also address the white elephant in the room, the Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train project. The project stalled due to the MVA rule, due to delays in land acquisition in particular. The situation was so bad that while Gujarat had completed 95% of land acquisition for the project, Maharashtra was lagging behind at less than 25%. Owing to the political apathy, project delays and cost overruns, companies such as Foxconn Vedanta left Maharashtra in 2022 and opted for Gujarat. Bulk drug park, which could have reduced our API imports, moved to Himachal Pradesh. And a rupees 22,000 crore Tata Airbus project to produce military planes in India also opted for Vadodara in Gujarat. All these big ticket projects could have led to employment creation in the state along with diversifying the industrial base. But then shifted to politically stable Gujarat, which has provided quite a cohesive environment for development of industries. The infighting and power lobbies among Congress, Sharad Pawar's NCP and Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena created doubts among large industrial players about getting caught in the political slugfest and the viability of their projects in Maharashtra. The situation became so dire that in addition to being anti-industry, the Uddhav Thackeray government increasingly adopted an anti-industrialist stance, with bomb scars outside the homes of industrialists becoming common during the MVA rule. No wonder it ended up being named Rent-Seeking Alliance and Kickbacks Ki Sarkar, owing to their prioritizing their own vested interest over the welfare of people and industry. And then there is sheer lawlessness. Despite enjoying the fruits of Bal Thakaray's staunch Hindutva ideology, Uddhav Thakaray's leadership in Maharashtra reached a tipping point when two sadhus were lynched in Palghar. And in an embarrassing political gesture, Thackeray claimed that the lynching was not communal and instead did everything to delay and mislead the investigation on the matter. There are several other instances of lawlessness under the MVA rule in Maharashtra, including that of harassment of journalists, arrest of citizens for daring to exercise freedom of speech, and abuse of government machinery for vendetta politics. Even as investor confidence dipped in Maharashtra, escalating joblessness, the common citizens were at the receiving end of a deadly cocktail of vested interest, lawlessness, and rampant corruption under the Maha Aghadi rule. By 2022, MVA leaders frequently found themselves entangled in money laundering investigations by agencies like the ED, CBI and Income Tax Department. Corruption cases against government officials saw a sharp 16% rise year on year in 2021. This led to a political meltdown due to which there was growing scrutiny on the Maha Aghadi coalition. Ultimately, Thackeray stepped down as CM following his government's collapse in June 2022. And now, playing the victim card, Uddhav Thackeray is trying to create a perception that his political opponents are looting Maharashtra's resources and opportunities, depriving Marathis of their rights. All this while he faced to take accountability for his actions as the former Chief Minister of Maharashtra and as the leader of a party whose roots he has served and whose ideology he has betrayed. He is trying to push a narrative that only his presence can bring back pride and identity tied to Maharashtra's economic strength and cultural heritage. However, he has failed miserably in covering up for the on-the-face outcomes of poor foresight, lax governance that has severely dented the state's long-term economic viability. The people of Maharashtra see through this empty rhetoric of regional pride. They see clearly that those who claim to be the protectors of Marathi interest have done the most to undermine them, stripping away vital opportunities for growth and development while serving only their own agendas.